Let's continue with linear inequalities. So these are the questions we'll be looking at. Take a close look at them. So this is our first question. So let's begin. Now, as I always say, when you are solving math questions and you'll be given a question like this, the first thing to do is to repeat your question. So after repeating your question, and you ask yourself, are fractions in it? Yes, they are fractions. So you clear the fractions. So in clearing the fractions, now you ask yourself, what is the LCM? And the denominators are 5 and 2, and then 1, because any whole number is over 1. So yeah, 1. So we have 5, 2, and 1 as our denominators. So you ask yourself, what's the LCM between these three numbers? And then our LCM is 10. So you multiply each term, or you multiply through by our LCM, which is 10. So 10 times x over 5. So this 5 will go into itself once, then to go here twice. Now you have to know that whenever we say it is an LCM, that means it can divide it equally. It can divide it per. When we say it is an LCM, that means it can divide it per. I'm saying per. That means it can divide it per without any remainder. So 5 will divide 10 2, and then 2 will go into itself 1, and then to divide 10 5 times. This pen. I'm not used to the pen. Alright, so now we are left with 2 times x, and then negative 5 times x, less than or equal to, take note of the sign, less than or equal to negative 3 times 10. So the signs like this is greater than, when you do your right hand like this, is greater than when you do your left hand like this, it's less than. So you have to take note. Alright, so now we are left with 2 times x minus 5 times x less than or equal to negative 30. That's negative 3 times 10, so negative 30. So 2 times x will give us 2x, negative 5 times x will give us negative 5x less than or equal to negative 30. So it's already grouped. The like terms are already grouped, so we just work it straightforward. So 2x minus 5x is going to give us negative 3x. You have 2, you take away 5 from it, you'll be owing 3. Now less than or equal to negative 30. Now you want x to stand alone, not negative 3x. So what you do is you divide through by what? The coefficient, which is negative 3. The coefficient is not 3, it is negative 3. Let's take note. So we are dividing through by negative 3. So we divide this one by negative 3. We divide here also by negative 3. Now we are going to get, so like this. Now we are going to get x. Now, whenever this, so at this point we had this, what we had here. Now from this point, when you start to divide through, and the sign you are dividing through with a particular sign. Let's say it is here it is negative, and you are dividing through by negative. That means the x will become positive. Finally the x will become positive. So whenever you are dividing through by a negative sign, whenever you are dividing through by a negative, you are dividing a linear inequality. Now it is inequality because of this. That's why it's called inequality. If it is an equal to sign, it will be equality. And because of this, because of the less than, greater than, or equal to sign that comes there, that's why it's called inequality. So whenever you are dividing through with a negative number in an inequality equation, whenever you are dividing an inequality with a negative number, the sign changes. The inequality sign changes. So after dividing through by negative 3, you realize in our final answer we have x to be greater than or equal to 10. Take note, whenever you divide through by a negative number, the sign changes if it is less than, it will change to greater than. If it is greater than, it will change to less than. It's very, very important. If not, your answer is wrong. So x is now greater than or equal to 10. Then now our question said we should leave, or we should find a true set. So as I said earlier in one of our in our previous video, as I said previously, the true set is what? X is such that x is greater than or equal to 10. X is greater than or equal to 10. Then the question also asks us to present our answer on the number line. So now let me teach you how to draw the number line. So you draw your Cartesian plane, or let me say your x-axis, and then you number it. So usually in the numbering, the scaling, you have to be reasonable with the scaling. Now your specific number you're talking about is 10. The specific number you're talking about here is 10. So it's positive 10. So you have to number in such a way that you get a positive 10, and then also some other numbers on the left and right. So the positive 10 is the main, this should somewhere be in the middle. So that's why I started here with negative 10, and then here is 30. So normally if here is positive 10, here is supposed to be negative 10. But at this place, we are not really interested in that. We are interested in our positive 10. Now, you first, after drawing the number line itself, you draw a circle here. So you draw a circle. So you are plotting on the 10, because the 10 is your focus. In your final answer, you had greater than or equal to 10. So the 10 is the focus. So you draw a circle on the 10. Then you ask yourself, the inequality sign, is it greater than or less than? Now, if it is greater than, look at sometimes one way to get it is that you look at if the x is starting. So like the way we have x starting here, x is greater than or equal to 10. You look at the direction of the inequality sign. So in this greater than, the smaller part is pointing to your right. So if pointing to your right, then that means on the equation your arrow point to your right. Your arrow point to your right. And then the other way also to look at it is you ask yourself, now they say x is greater than or equal to 10. So x is greater than 10. So which side of this, on the number line, which side of the 10 is the greater numbers? So here you can see 15 is greater than 10, 20 is greater than 10. Here 5 is less than 10, 0 is less than 10. So that means this is the side we are talking about. We are talking about this side. So you draw your arrow to the greater side. So like the way I've already drawn, to the greater side. Now, because we have in the inequality, we have equal to. So it's greater than or equal to. So whenever there is an equal to in it, that means you have to shade. So that's why I've shaded it here. If there is no equal to, if it is just greater than, then you just draw the circle and leave it. But because there is an equal to, you have to shade it. So after drawing, then you write it, you write on top. So you write this on top of the arrow. You write it on top of the arrow, this side, very neatly. All right. So that is it. That is it for the question 1. Let's move on to our second question. So thrice a number is subtracted from 6, and the result is at most twice the sum of the number in 5. Wow, very interesting. Find the possible values of the number. Find the possible values of the number. All right, so now let's think. Now, when you are giving questions in maths, you don't have to rush. Take your time. Thinking or understanding the question is part of the exam, so you have to take your time and think critically. That's why you have your exam paper. Just do some rough work on the question paper, or maybe somewhere in your answer book, like do some rough work and then get what they are talking about before you begin working. So try to understand the basics. So now in this particular question, they said thrice a number. So thrice a number, we don't know that number. So the first thing that has to come into your mind is what? Let's represent that number with what? With a variable. So in our instance, we can say x. So let's represent the number with what? With x. So thrice a number, that means what? 3 times the number. You have to understand maths. So maths is like English. Oh. Maths is like English. Oh. Thrice a number. So 3 times a number. That's what? 3x. Is subtracted from 6. So you are subtracting that 3x from 6. Or you can say it's less from 6. So you are taking it out of 6. You are not taking the 6 out of that two. You are taking that one rather out of the 6. So be very, very careful of the expression. You are taking it out of 6. So you are going to get 6 minus 3x. 6 minus 3x. I'll show it. I'll show it. But try to understand first. So 6 minus 3x. That's our first expression in this particular question. And the result is at most twice. That means twice. So if it is more than it has gone cry. It is what? Twice the sum of the number and 5. So at most. So that means that the first expression is lower than what? Than the second expression we are come to talk about. So it is what? Less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. Or say at most. That means abroswa what? That. So that means ekwa ekosi saa number no, embro saa number no. It doesn't exceed that number, it reaches that number. So that means what? Less than or equal to the second expression. So the second expression is what? At most twice the sum of the number. So twice the sum of the number and 5. Twice the sum of the number and 5. So the sum of the number is what? Is x. The sum of the number and 5 is what? X plus 5. So twice of that is what? 2 open brackets x plus 5. Let's try to understand. So find the possible values of the number. So that's it. So our first expression is what? 3x. We are taking 3x out of 6. And then not more than what? The second expression. So that means less than or equal to the second expression. So 2 times x plus 5. When you're able to get your expression like this, you've solved the question. But the difficult part is getting this. When you're able to get this, you've already solved the question. So from here to go, you are not supposed to find any difficulty in it. So you just open the bracket, then you group like terms. So in grouping like terms, the positive 10 will cross to become negative, and then also the negative 3x will cross to become what? Positive, like this. Then 6 minus 10 is negative 4. 2x plus 3x is what? Is 5x. Now we are making x the subject, so we divide through by what? By 5. Now you take note of something. We are dividing through by what? A positive number, not a negative, a positive number. So what do we have? We have negative 4 over 5 less than or equal to x. See that the sign has not changed. The sign hasn't changed. Less than or equal to x. Then we conclude by saying x is what? Is greater than or equal to negative 4 over 5. Now this place usually confuses people. Now the position of x has changed. That is why the sign has changed. The sign in itself hasn't really changed, or the understanding hasn't really changed. It's just the positions that change. Now look at the larger side of the sign, where it is facing. Now let me use the. So in this particular side, you realize the larger side is facing x. When we turn it, it is still facing x. That is what we are looking for. It should continue to face x. So here the sign is less than here, but here it has become greater than. That is because the position where x used to stand has changed. The actual meaning of the expression hasn't changed because it is still facing the x as it is supposed to. So that means x is still what? Greater than or equal to what? Negative 4 over 5. And then in this place is the same thing. S is greater than or equal to what? Negative 4 over 5. But because of how it is arranged, you can say negative 4 over 5 is less than or equal to what? X. Negative 4 over 5 is less than or equal to x. Now in our concluding side, since we have changed it, you will say what? S is rather what? Greater than or equal to what? Negative 4/5. If I say I am less than you, if I am less than you, I can also say that what? You are greater than me. It's just as simple as that. If I'm able to say that you are less than me, I can also say that what? I'm greater than you. It's as simple as that. So let's not get confused. All right. So this is where we end our first part of the algebra. Now the second part will be our simultaneous equation, which would tackle it in the next day. So stay tuned to this channel. Actually, I'll not tell you to subscribe. You've already seen what the channel can give you. So you've already seen what the channel can give you. So if you want more of it and even better ones, you stay tuned to this channel. You do the needful and stay tuned to this channel. Thank you very much for being with me this day. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.